My hair fell out again. I haven't mentioned this yet, but after I had COVID for the second time in August 2022, my hair fell out yet again. As you might remember in my other videos, when I was about 19, my iron was really low, so I had a massive hair fall. I lost half my hair at that time, and then it remained really thin for decades until about 2017, when I made it a priority to figure out what was going wrong with my hair. And then it took me a few years to finally get my iron high enough so that it could actually start growing in longer than about this long, because it would grow in about this long and then would fall out and short cycle. So thankfully in early 2020, when I had COVID for the first time, I did not lose my hair. Then when I got COVID again in August of 2022, my hair unfortunately did fall out. And I looked up the research, and apparently about 20% of people that had COVID actually had hair loss after having COVID. What happens is that because the virus is so stressful on the body, especially if you have a fever, it actually disrupts your hair cycle and triggers a massive hair loss. It's delayed though, so the hair fall usually begins about 2 months after you have the virus. And it usually continues falling out for several months, and there's nothing you can do about it. It just is something that happens as a result of the virus. But thankfully after that, then the hair starts to grow back normally again. So I had about 3 years of good hair growth starting in about 2019, but then having COVID in August 2022 for the second time, that's when my hair fell out again. After a virus, it usually takes about 2 to 3 months for hair to start falling out, but they actually found with COVID that it starts falling out sooner, more like around 56 days. And mine, I looked back in my notes, and mine actually started falling out after 52 days, so it's really close to that average. And because my hair is curly and I wore it clipped up all the time back then, the only time that I saw the hair actually fall out was when I washed it. And I washed it in my bathtub, and I have one of those little hair catcher filter things. So I would actually see all the hairs that were falling out. So it was really easy for me to keep track of how much was falling out, because I don't brush it every day like most people do, and I kept it clipped up. So when it fell out, it was only when I was washing it. So I was really able to see how much was coming out. So again, about 2 months after I had COVID, it started falling out about 6 times more than usual. It was really just coming out like crazy. But then it started to fall out less and less. And then within 3 months, it was falling out normally again. So fortunately this time, it wasn't as bad as the hair fall that I had when I was 19 or 20. It was still significant, but it wasn't that much that it took a long time to come back. So that's why if you looked at that video that I had done, I think it was 2023, my hair was already starting to come back, which I was very grateful for. But it was still really disappointing because my hair was finally starting to grow in, and I had my iron on track to, raise it enough to grow hair back. And then it fell out after COVID. So it was definitely really disappointing. But it could have been a lot worse because one of my daughters had hair loss after COVID as well, and hers was really severe. It was about half of her hair that fell out. And because mine happened when I was bedridden, as I mentioned, I just kept it clipped up, so it didn't really disrupt my life, and I didn't really look at it very much, and I just noticed when I washed it. So I'm sharing this because I know it's so difficult to deal with hair loss, especially when it happens again and you have setbacks, but setbacks unfortunately do happen. So just know that you're not alone. You will get through it. Let me know in the comments if you had hair loss from COVID or from any virus. And you can watch this video where I go over 6 ways to cope with hair loss. Don't wait for others to fix you. Become informed and advocate for yourself. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.